Good day, everybody. Good day, everybody. The ABCs of communication, public speaking, and hey. Okay, I was trying to rhyme there. Yes, the ABCs of communication, connection, and speaking continue today. I am very happy to be here. What up, Crown Photography? So, I am on a roll here, I guess to say, but today, even though usually I will give a little bit of thought, just a little bit of thought and kind of like flow from there when you all give me a word. But today's word is so just freaking all over the place that you literally could probably turn this one word into like its own 5-part series, which maybe I'll do, right? I'm gonna try to remember that, but y'all remind me. But so far with the ABCs of communication, connection, and speaking, we have done authenticity, we have done bossy, we have done ABC, we have done consistency, and then D. What was D? Because today we're on E. I forgot what yesterday was, so y'all just gonna have to remind me. Dang, what was D? I forgot. But anyways, today we come with the letter E. And while it's still waiting for some of these lives to come through, I'm gonna look at my notes to see, did I delete that already? Oh, D was dynamic. D was dynamic. Okay. So today I introduce you today's letter, and it is E for energy. The energy. Energy when you're speaking, energy when you're communicating. The energy that is mutual, felt, understood. Avery. Okay, so I was going to do eloquence. And here's the interesting thing that I learned about eloquence. And this is going to be like the pre of the energy. I got a couple of more requests for energy. And, what are some things that come to mind when you think about eloquence or being eloquent, right? Jot it in the chat or something like this. Avery, I'm doing this one just for you. Definition, right? I was thinking eloquence. It's like the grace. It's like how it comes off of the mouth, like very nicely put together, right? Even polished, even though polished, I don't even really be feeling that word polished. When people are like, I just want to be polished. I want to be more polished. I'll be like, girl, don't be polished. Anyways. And so what I learned when I just looked it up, I said, well, what does eloquent even mean? Like, what's the definition? We kind of have an understanding of it. Fluent or persuasive in speaking or writing, right? And then what does it mean when someone is eloquent? Having or exercising the power of fluent, forceful, and appropriate speech, right? I was very, it's clear, strong message, so eloquence is kind of direct. Eloquence is concise. What's a synonym for eloquent? Affecting, ardent, articulate, expressive, fervent, right? Very interesting things. And I think that the main thing that I will say about being eloquent is it's often misconstrued now that I look at this definition. If I were to just say, to be eloquent, and many of us are very eloquent, it's this nature of, I said what I said. I've said it in such a clear and concise way, very persuasive, that I can't really say it any other type of way. I think that that's eloquent. It's eloquently said, right? So I'll have to go back into that and think about it more, but I was quite surprised to hear that it had more to do with being forceful, more to do with being precise, more to do with being clear, giving a strong message. I also saw that it had something to do with, being persuasive. So all of those things, people said, are eloquent people intelligent? People associate academic brilliance and intelligence with eloquent elocution. We know that this correlation isn't true. Anyways, we might have to dive back into that one. What does it mean to be eloquent? And I think that eloquence can sometimes be confused with elegance, right? I think it's oftentimes used in that way, but I said what I said. So if you know that you have gotten to the meat and the potatoes, the very concise and clear way of saying something, then you's eloquent in my opinion. Hey, Deidre. Yes, you's eloquent. I said what I said. Glad I can assist, but I am full of energy. So I like today's word. Yes. Okay. So energy is today's word. That was another request that came through. And I wanted to just make mention of eloquence because I think that that is something that people attribute to being a good speaker, a good communicator, right? So I'm glad that we addressed that. The larger one, hello everybody and welcome. The larger one of the ABCs of communication, connection, and public speaking is E. The letter is E, and the word that we're going to cover today is energy. And my mind kind of went all over the place because quite honestly, today, I just didn't have the energy. I didn't feel like coming through with this. I was doing a little bit of adulting. I was making some doctor's appointments. And if you make doctor's appointments, you know that it can be tedious. You got to make a call and another call. I got my freaking card out here. You know, I'm just like, can I get it? Then I got 30 days and 45 days before I can get an appointment in ish. It was just like adulting, the tedious part. So I really was like, I don't have the energy because they got me all mad and in my feelings and just, like, I don't want it, right? So then I'm asking myself, how am I supposed to get my energy right? Then it dawned on me the direction I should be going with this. And it really brings about what the ABCs of communication and connection. If I was doing graphics, I would put connection right on the screen right now. And for energy, I believe that it has a lot more to do with connection than it has to do with anything else, right? And in the terms of being relatable, and the terms of being on the same page, in the terms of being able to have a presence, it is about the connection that you're able to facilitate with the people that you're talking to, right? It came down to two things when I thought about energy. And then this is just one approach. Like I said, this could be a 5-part series. But I think about intentionality and I think about identity. Ooh, see, I just kind of came up with a new way to say that. But intentionality and identity. And if you want to step into the room with a lot of energy, if you want to communicate with a lot of energy, if you want to connect with people through your energy, if when you're speaking you want to have energy, then you have to be intentional. Because what had happened is I was trying to do all of the adulting things. And I had lost my intention for why I'm showing up on these lives talking about connection, communication, and speaking. And before I got back on here, I had to set an intention. I am here because I'm here to support people in the space of improving their communication and speaking skills and using communication and speaking to actually make connection with people. I had to kind of remind myself. I had to shake it off. And I had to set a new intention just in this moment so that I can be prepared, so that I can be in a season, in a vibe, in a groove. I had to get my energy right. And in order to get your energy right, you have to first have intention. What is your intention? That just in my mind says, what is your intention with my daughter? I don't have kids, but what is your intention with my daughter? And if they can share their intention, it lets us know where their energy is. And if they already have an intention set in mind, that intention kind of permeates. That intention radiates. So if you have a clear intention, then it directs the energy. It magnifies the energy. So me coming from adulting, I had to get my intention right. What's up, Kevin? What's up? I can't see all the faces. These are things. RD Shoes. I'm trying to see the pictures. Forgive me. Anyways, so I had to focus my intention. And when I anchored my intention, then the rest of me changed. right? Then my energy changed. Then my demeanor changed. My focus changed. My mind changed. The way I'm sitting changed. I was even cold in this house, which is absolutely not possible here in Houston, Texas, because it is hot as hell outside. But I was so cold. I actually turned off the air, but I got to go out. I got to go back and turn it on. What up, Robert? I got to go back and turn it on. My intention has changed so much in me that I'm now hot. I got to turn this fan on. I'm now hot. Like I'm turning on oily and stuff because I'm hot. Intention is what can radiate your energy, right? And when you think about energy, it is one of those things where I talk about, it's this like woo-woo of things. It's like all up here. When you see it, you recognize it. When you feel it, you recognize it. But if you're asking yourself, how can I bring more energy? How can I up my energy? It's not just about being loud. I am technically a yeller. I yell. That's just what I do. I like to yell. But even right now, I'm not yelling. I'm expressive. But my energy is emitting what my intention is. And my intention is to show up. My intention is to be present with y'all. My intention is to explore this word called energy. My intention is to be consistent. That was another word from ABCs that we've gone through. Happy Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. Right? So intention. So if you know that you coming from some bad energy, you can do things. I looked up this article and they were talking about like 10 things that you can do to speak with more energy. They said, check your posture, right? Move around. Y'all see me moving. Yawn. I guess, open up your mouth. Smile. Y'all see me smiling. Have key talking points in front of you. I kind of skipped that part, but that's just my job. My job is not to have any talking points for this series, okay? Speed your talking points. Speaking slightly faster. Oh, speaking slightly faster. Okay. Strike a pose. Try speaking a little louder. Okay. So I think that all of these things are ways that you can add a little jolt. You do naturally, like you can change your posture and it change your energy. You can smile and it change your energy. You can move around and it change your energy, right? You can do all of those things, but you still have to set the intention before that. I think the intention is the predecessor to all of those things. You can smile, but it's with the intention. Like, what are you intending on doing? And the reason why I say that the intention matters more is you can come in and put a smile on your face, but people recognize real at the end of the day. And if you give it a fake smile, then people gonna know. Like sometimes you can fake it until you make it, but you have to associate a clear intention that you believe in, that you're connected with. Like, why do I want to show up here? And if it's not a genuine intention, then you can smile and say everything the right way. But if you don't have any clear intention behind it, then it's not going to translate, because energy is felt. And energy, you can see it. Like there's different ways for us to interpret energy, but it's just real, recognize real. And when you're focused and you're connected with somebody, if y'all are here, it has to do with their intention, real, recognize real. So one way to grow your energy, to be more energetic, to change your energy, to lift your energy, whatever you need to do when it comes to communicating, when it comes to connecting with people, if you're out and you're speaking, set a clear intention that you can buy into. Because if you're not focused, if you don't have an intention on where you're at, hey, Vernick, ask Vernick. Mr. Harris is in the house. Then you're going to lose the connection. Just real, recognize real. I said that. So here's the other thing that has something to do with intention, right? So let's say you're working on the intention piece. You're like, all right, Shahara, I got it. I am going to offer one additional mode, way, practice to bring up your energy. And it's something that I had to process even when I showed up here coming off of all the adulting things that I was doing. But energy is most received, most magnified. Energy is most felt when there's a realness to it. I talked about intentionality and it being genuine. People who have good energy have a very high level of self-awareness. So when I talk about intention and then I talk about identity, do you know who you are? Are you comfortable in who you are? And if you have insecurities about who you are you willing to be vulnerable about those aspects? Do you hide aspects of who you are? Are you afraid of people seeing who you are? Are you constantly filtering? Are you, like putting up blockage? Are you, you can't get too close to me? Energy is abundant. And if you're trying to limit who you are, if you're trying to protect who you are because you're not familiar or comfortable with who you are, people gonna pick that up. People who have good energy, they seem like they're like you have access to them. Now, granted, you might have your close knit of friends. I get it. There's memes that say like people can't have access to you, or you can only like there's certain things where everybody can't be your inner circle. I get that. I totally get that. But as in being a spirit and as in being a energy, you are abundant. I can't help but to give myself to y'all. I think that's why my energy is so big. I'm not hoarding aspects of who I am. I don't share everything about what's going on in my personal life, but I'm so abundant with how I show up and about how I feel about myself that you still feeling me. Like, you know how you always, there are people where it's like, I don't know anything about that person, but it's just something about them. It's because of how they've reckoned, how they are in alignment, and how they found peace and comfort with who they are, their identity. There's just a peace, right? And it doesn't always have to feel like I'm extra confident. I don't have any flaws. No, I can have all the flaws. I can have some issues. I got some issues. And if you holler at me in real life, IRL, you sit with me for a little while, you're going to probably know what them things are. Because I'm not hoarding who I am. My identity is mine, and I take ownership of it. And I'm not hoarding it. I'm not trying to ration it out. I'm going to say this. It's going to sound crazy. Me and my business partner, we joke and we say, I am for the streets. I am for the streets. Now, I know when we say that in our culture, it means that like I'm out there hoeing and stuff. But I am for the streets. I am for the people. I am with the world. I am an extrovert. I'm an extreme extrovert. So I am, that is where I'm supposed to be. I thrive. I'm out there. I'm with y'all, which is crazy that I've been gone for so long, but I'm with y'all. What up, Daniel? What up, Love, Hopes, Anchor? What up, Savell? I think I'm getting that right. The point I'm trying to make in this is, when you are comfortable with who you are, when you have accepted who you are, when you're okay with evolving and growing and iterating and however many ways that you show up, there is a certain thing that you put out and they call it energy. But it has to do with your level of self-awareness. It has to do with how familiar you are with the landscape of self, right? And if you're not doing the inner work, or if you're still trying to protect yourself from being hurt or being exposed or being judged or being hated or whatever, then that's going to show up. I feel like this space of ownership and identity and truly owning your identity and evolving in your identity requires a great level of transparency, requires a great level of vulnerability. because it is what it is. You getting what you're getting. There are times and places, to be who you gonna be, and that's your discernment, that's your judgment. But in a way of growing your energy to connect with other people, believe that you are abundant. Believe that there's lots of you to give, and that not one or too many people can take from you and deplete you. Some people can be depleting. Sometimes you need to go somewhere. You got to pray. You got to meditate. You got to restore. But you are boundless. That is energy. To know that I can show up in places and be amongst people, and be amongst my team, be amongst folks, just being. Like, energy is all over the place. It's everywhere. It's abundant. If you want to give off more energy, the comfort that you have with yourself and allowing to expose yourself to the world, to be unbound, to be abundant, that is energy. When you start to walk into rooms and people feel drawn to you, it's because you've given them something to touch. You've given them something to experience. And the reason why sometimes we don't give the world something to experience is because we still have not reckoned with some of our own brokenness, some of our own insecurities, some of our own doubts. And what I'm saying is you can have those insecurities, you can be broken, and you can have those doubts. And you can share them whenever you feel. But it doesn't have to stop you from allowing yourself to still also be abundant. Whoo! Y'all. Anyways, intention, first step. Show up in a place with good intention. Then you got good energy with focused intention. The next one, embrace your identity. Accept who you are. Own who you are. Find comfort in who you are. I know it sounds corny, flaws and all. But I am not afraid of being judged. I'm not afraid of being talked about. I'm not afraid of, shit getting out there, like whatever. I don't embarrass easily. And if I do get embarrassed, if I do feel judged, it's like, oh, my feelings are hurt. Then I evolve. And then I patch myself up. I heal myself. I pray. I meditate. I journal. I bring community in. And then I'm back out there. Why? Because I am abundant energy. Ain't no stopping us now. We on the loose. Y'all feeling me on that one? Just checking. So I think I've hit this pretty hard today. A little later today than normal because life was lifing and I had to tend to life. But yeah, that's it. The ABCs of communication, connection, and speaking. Talking about energy. I broke it down to just intention and identity. Know that you are abundant. And when you show up in places intentionally, your energy will expand. And then they're going to feel you. You feel me? You feel me? You're picking up when I'm putting down. That's it. All right, y'all. I'm going to be back tomorrow. A, B, C, D, E. It's letter F. What the F am I going to talk about? So if y'all have any suggestions, go ahead and put them in the comments right now. What's something that I can talk about that has something to do with communication, connection, speaking, that starts with the letter F? Funky? I have no idea, y'all. Frisky. What does frisky look like? I don't know. I'm an adult. There's only two things that come to my mind when I say the F word. Because I'm a grown woman and that's just, our minds go there. I'm not the only adult that you give a letter, you think. Yesterday when I was talking about the letter D, one of my girls in my DGMs was like, you should talk about it. I was like, girl, I ain't talking about that. But I know everybody thought it. Anyways, if y'all have any suggestions as to the letter F, A, B, C, D, E, F. Yes, F is next. What I could talk about. What? What could I talk about with the letter F? Being frank. stage fright, maybe being frightened. I have no idea. So y'all slide in my DMs. Thank you all for joining me today. I so appreciate it. I'll be back at it tomorrow. Like I said, I am really trying to stick with the morning time, but life sometimes. So, all right, fear. Duh. Thank you, Robert. I'm going all over the place. How do you deal with fear? Oh gosh, that was easy. Thank you. I'm trying to make my life more difficult coming up with frisky. Why would I say frisky? Because I'm an adult. Because I am an adult, that's why. But you are a smart adult, Robert. So fear it is. I'm going to talk about fear tomorrow. How to overcome fear. How to allow fear to motivate you. What does fear do? What does fear don't do? All good things. So I thank you all for joining me. Please do share. If there's anybody you feel like could benefit from, improving their communication skills, if there's anybody that can benefit from, improving the way that they connect with people, the way that they speak, share this. So yeah, that's it. You all have been great. I'll see you tomorrow.